Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. Redmissed in the house once again. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great. And we, my friends, are playing some more Magic Legion. Now, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the little bonus event kind of thing that's going on in amongst the whole entire thing here. Now, what I mean by the little bonus event is... Sorry, I was slightly distracted there. Someone came in the room. So what I mean by little bonus event is if we come down into the event things, just after I finish collecting these bits here real quick, just because of the fact that I haven't done them yet. Now, if we come into these events here, you can see at the very, very top, the stage challenge. Now, if we click on that, you can see right here, if you kill any level 112 to level 120 of the bosses, you're going to be able to get these rewards. So basically, for doing it 10 times, you're going to get 5 of the hammers, you're going to get 5 of each of the cards. For 20, for 50, you're going to get a 50% off card. For 300 for doing 100 of the wins, and for getting 150 wins, you're going to get the magic idol. Now, basically, guys, you're going to get a 6-star hero just for running these missions. Now, there is currently 3 days and 17 hours, 16 minutes and 53 seconds left for this event to keep going. So if you're able to do this at the moment, guys, then make sure you do it. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to show you where you need to go. So basically, you need to be at the Hall of whatever. So if you get here, then you're basically going to be able to go ahead and do these missions. So if we come over here, you're going to be able to go back in time over here and go into the chamber right here. Now, when you're inside the chamber, now I haven't done any of these missions yet, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to solo them on this account, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can. So let's just go ahead and quickly create a team and we'll go in and fight right away. So as I say, I don't know if I can solo these guys, but if I can, then I'm definitely going to be soloing them. If not, then I'm going to have to try it and find some people to obviously help me out with this bad boy. But you can see here that the very first fight, which is the elf guy, he doesn't have very high magic resistance, so you're able to so your witch should be able to lock him down on a fair few occasions. Obviously right now she's not doing that, but you will have a good opportunity to lock him down quite a few times. And he doesn't do like an excessive amounts of damage, so therefore having ward as your upgraded spell would basically go ahead and negate quite a lot of his damage. So hopefully that will actually help you out quite a bit. Now, it does look as if I'm not quite strong enough to obviously fight this guy easily at the moment. We're not doing too much damage to him. So one thing that I might end up doing would be go and activate my all of my potions that I've saved up in the past, which is obviously going to create a better environment for obviously fighting this guy. Now, the downside to this guy is when the witch isn't locking him down, he does prioritize the main hero. So me being the main hero is obviously the guy that he's going to focus his fire upon, which means that your spells are going to be very, very slow in activating, which unfortunately means that you're going to be taking a lot longer on these battles. But you can see here that he's taken so long to be able to attack and kill me that obviously we've been able to get him quite low. So ideally I need to get my witch's magic hit up quite a bit more so that she locks him down a fair bit more. But as you guys know, my witch's magic hit isn't that high, but this guy does have very low magic resistance. So if your witch's hit rate is a little bit higher, then you'll probably be able to get rid of this guy very, very easily. One of the bonus things that you could also do in order to successfully destroy this guy a lot quicker would possibly be running high magic defense, because he does have a lot of free spells. So every single time he uses that spell, that could freeze your team. When he uses his standard attack, he has the possibility of freezing your team as well. So this is why it's also a really good thing to have the king in your team, because his primary fire is going to focus the king, and he can't freeze the king because he's immune to abnormal effects. So your king is always going to be active, and he's never going to get frozen. And then him providing the purification to the other team members as well could also give you a huge advantage, because obviously he's not going to be able to freeze them. But also, if you've got more stronger heroes, then obviously you're not going to have any trouble fighting this guy whatsoever. But as you know, I'm running +6 heroes, so I'm a little bit weak when it comes to these kind of boss fights, because of the fact that they are much stronger than where I should really be fighting for my heroes level. And you know that my heroes are almost maxed when it comes to damage capabilities because of all the cards that I've been using. So it's really good, because also as well, guys, with these particular boss fights as well, you have the possibility of getting the ability cards or the personal cards when you're fighting these guys. So that is also going to help you increase your team quite a bit. So you can see there that it took us a little bit of time, but we were able to defeat this guy quite nicely. So you can see here, for fighting this guy, you're going to be able to go ahead and get a 4 to 6 star hero on mount when you fight this guy and defeat him. The second guy is also going to be a 4 to 6 star hero mount. I thought that these were ability. There you go. And the final guy is the ability card point. So in my personal opinion, you want to just farm the Scorpion Warrior as much as you can, because of the fact that you're going to have to defeat him 150 times. Let's see if we can clock onto this guy's fight right here. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But if you can go ahead and get these fights done, like obviously the healing knight thing isn't really that good of a hero, so you'll probably be able to farm this one the easiest if you're lower level, because of the fact that it has high magic resistance, but its attack power isn't like super great. So you'll probably be able to farm this guy the easiest out of the 3 of them, if you're sort of lower level like I am on this account. But if you have the possibilities to solo, or even have a couple of friends join you and farm the third guy, which is the Scorpion Warrior, he is definitely by far the best one to go ahead and select to attack, purely because of the fact that he's going to be able to give you those ability cards, and that is super helpful, because even if you turn around and say, out of the 150 times that you have to play these boss fights to get that 6-star hero, you could basically go ahead and get, say, even if you said you only got 30 of the ability cards. Now, if you only get 30 out of 50 attacks, then that's still really good. Let's see if we actually have the power to solo this guy. I don't think I'm going to, judging off of the ability of the first guy, because this guy, if I remember rightly, this guy does have a very good magic resistance capability, so I might not be able to kill this guy, but we're certainly going to give it a go. Now, we're actually doing a lot more damage to this guy than we were the very first guy, so it could be possible, because of the fact that he's not freezing my team like the first guy was. That was the biggest problem, was my team getting frozen. His magic resistance is too high for me to turn him into a pig though, so that's not good. But as I say, we are doing a ton of damage to this guy, but he's also doing a ton of damage to my my war mage there. So I'm guessing we're not really going to be able to take this guy out. But we're definitely going to see if we can. Like, let's take a look. I don't know. We're going to have to use that attack. So Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to. Let's just go ahead and drop out of this, because why can't I leave this fight? Oh no, you can't leave the boss fights, can you? That's a little bit frustrating. So we might have to just let this play out, guys, unfortunately, because we can't actually leave the fight. So I guess we can see how close we will actually get to being able to defeat him. Now, he has killed my war mage, so we're going to become super slow. But one other thing that you can do as well is you can see here that with this guy in particular, my witch isn't good enough to constantly lock him down, so she's basically useless in this fight. So what you could always do is go and switch in another damage dealing hero, preferably one that you've got a little bit of HPs into, so that obviously they're not going to die super quickly. But that's going to be, do you know what, guys, this is going to take quite a little bit of time, so let's go ahead and drop that there, and let's just jump back into the game, because as I say, it's going to take a fair bit of time to obviously cycle through that fight, which is a little bit annoying. But what you could do is you could always go ahead and switch out your non-damage dealing heroes, so such as your war mage or your witch. But preferably you want to switch out your witch and you want to put your war mage in the back line. Now, the reason why I strongly suggest this is because obviously then you're going to have the war mage to increase your damage and your speed, and then you're going to have someone else to deal more damage for you. So whoever you possibly have, you can go ahead and switch that in. So let's just go ahead and very quickly switch in a second Arno and see what that's going to do for us. See if that makes any difference. And one thing that I will do as well is I'll go into here, and all of these potions that I've been saving for a rainy day is perfect for something like this, because of the fact that you can go ahead and put them in. Now, the other thing that I will do as well is I will switch in switch the Arno into the front line, like my big Arno into the front line, and I'll put my little Arno and my war mage in the back line. Now, the reason why I'll do this is quite simply, if we just click on this, we can probably get there quicker by doing this one. Is quite simply because obviously the level 1 has a very low level, so he might not be able to survive. So by doing all of that, let's go ahead and see the difference in the attack capabilities, because obviously our witch was almost useless because she was never really locking him down or stunning him. So therefore we're going to bring in some more power. So hopefully this guy hasn't got anything that can attack the back line. Okay, he's got something that can hit the back line, so having a level 1 Arno might not be the best thing here, but we do have that bonus speed because we're going to keep the war mage alive. We do have that bonus attack power because we do have that level 1 Arno in our team. So you can see here that obviously the attack damage is a hell of a lot higher. We did manage to turn him into a pig this time, which is going to be a huge big upgrade for us, because obviously we managed to turn him into a pig, which means that everyone's going to do bonus damage. We could possibly move the curse into the front row a little bit more, but we're still not going to be doing nowhere near enough damage to obviously warrant bringing him down to that 40% before the Reaper's Scythe comes into effect. But you can see here by switching out the war mage, switching out the witch with the Arno has obviously done a hell of a lot more, and also putting on those power-ups has also helped us increase quite a bit more. But now, because we've ran out of all of our protection spells, our level 1 Arno's probably going to go down fairly quickly here. But again, you can counterbalance that sort of stuff by, I could always go ahead and put all of my high level Arno gear onto the low level Arno, which would actually make him a lot more self-sustainable, because of obviously, like, maybe go ahead and put the high level legendary necklace onto him, which would obviously create 100,000 billion more HP for that level 1 Arno, so he would survive a hell of a lot longer because he would have tons more HP. But you can see as well that because we've kept the War Mage alive for a little bit longer, obviously Arno and the King have that bonus speed for a lot longer, so they're doing a ton more damage than what they done when the Witch was in the front. The War Mage was in the front row, because he died straight away. So this is really good. And then obviously when the War Mage does eventually die, that's going to mean that the King is only going to have myself and Arno to basically cast his spells on. So as long as he lands his attack, he'll cast his spell, which will mean that he'll probably be able to protect myself and Arno with purification all of the time. So this guy's poison effect is never going to come into effect, because of the fact that he'll until then, obviously, because as you can see that Arno is green right now, so therefore he's poisoned, which means he's doing less damage, which is a downside. But and also you can see here now we're knocked down as well, so we're probably still gonna lose this fight just because we're not quite powerful enough just yet to solo this guy. But you can see here as well, guys, you can clearly see that maybe if we upgraded that other level 1 Arno, we would possibly have the power to kill this guy, because we're still super close to being able to beat this guy if Arno can get another attack. There it is. So we're actually able to just solo this guy with those extra potions. We did go ahead and get an ability card there, which is great, because that means that we can upgrade our heroes even more, and we can do even more crazy stuff like that. And that is why it's super important to use the right stuff at the right times. So you can see here as well, guys, we do have a couple of ability cards and stuff. So what we could always go ahead and do is we could always go ahead and put these onto the main Arno right here. But what I could also do is this piece of item right here, this necklace, I could remove that off of my main Arno, and I could go over to the small Arno and look at the HP of the small Arno. So at the moment he's at 422,000 HP. Let's go ahead and equip that. He's just got 30,000 HP, 300,000 HP just by putting that piece on him, which is super good. He's obviously going to get levels as well, so you could basically just make him more survivable by putting in HP. I'm going to give him a little bit of attack capabilities as well. But our main Arno is the main thing. Like, we have our cards as well, so let's go ahead and use these cards on our main Arno's HP, because we've just made him lose HP, so anything that we can give him back would be great. And also any of the cards that we've got, we could also make him more stats in there as well. But we're not going to go for them ones, because what we're going to do is we're going to give our main hero a little bit more HP so that we can survive a little bit better. So you've got to bear that in mind, guys, all of this stuff. But make sure you take full advantage of these guys, because if you are at this zone and you can fight these bosses, you're basically going to get yourself a free 6-star magic idol. So that's going to be it from me today, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please make sure you hit that like. Please make sure you hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel, and show your support. And I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets.